Greetings. This is the evening of February the 5th, 2021. My name is Brother Leroy Shabazz. I'm an emergency management practitioner in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. Last week, I introduced a YouTube channel and I pointed out a video where I spoke about the fact that Black people in particular, are going to FEMA camps, and Black people will probably more than likely die in massive amounts based on some things that are about to happen. I really reiterate that to you, and I hope you'll follow through on this video as I elaborate on that. What I introduced last week was a YouTube channel. The channel is ceFEMAP News. Now I'm gonna highlight that when I finalize this video. But this video that I did right here called Soon Comes Death, that's what I titled it. I spoke about the fact that, again, people are going to die, people are going to go to FEMA camps, and I pointed out some realities to that. One of the major things that I pointed out, and you really need to go check out the video on the YouTube channel, is that did you know, and you probably didn't know, and you probably don't know what to do now that I'm going to tell you, but the fact that the CARES Act, the Coronavirus Aid and Relief and Economic Stimulus, that bill was written a whole year before you heard about coronavirus as they now talk about it. Again, you heard about coronavirus in December of 2019, and in January of 2020, they called it a pandemic. However, the CARES Act was started. It was introduced to Congress a whole year before that. Go check out the video, get the information. And again, I also point out a very important video that I made toward the end of 2020, and I would like for you to go check out that video. Now, I said that in that video I had some actual audio problems, so I want to go over some of the aspect of those audio problems, because at that point in the video, because it was a PowerPoint video, I was on this slide right here, and some things started going wrong with my audio. So I'm just going to reiterate a little bit here. What I pointed out on this slide is I'm introducing you to the concept of the National Incident Management System. And let me say this, by me calling myself a emergency management practitioner, I'm telling you that I am not a prepper. A prepper is someone that's really down with disaster preparedness. A prepper is someone who gets their supplies together and they're ready for themselves or a limited amount of people. As an emergency management practitioner, under the instructions of Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2010, what I did was came out and learned how the system works, the system that we're involved with in America, the National Incident Management System as it is now. And I'll tell you, that system is hostile. That system is in itself racist, and I can go into that in a little bit detail, not here, maybe in another video, but let me move on. Again, what I point out in the video that I want you to look at, the PowerPoint video, is that what I'm pointing out with this slide is I talk about incident management, and I talk about if the police department come out or the fire department come out for maybe just a car fire or a burglary that took place, you might just get one car or one unit. But if it's a major warehouse fire, if it's a bigger situation, then the National Incident Management System is made to scale up and it's made to scale down. That's very important, because in the next slide that I look at in here is I talk about the fact that things scale up and scale down. So if you have a police officer that responds to some Black guy in the community and that police officer ends up killing that Black guy, then that's his incident management. That's how he managed the incident. But just imagine, if it's a bigger scale incident, say riots, say the power grid goes out, and you got people in bigger positions that are in charge of food and water supply, and they have the very same attitude about Black people as that police officer who killed that one Black person, you got a major problem coming. And I need you to really understand that, because there's some doo-doo in the game, and you really need to follow through and look at the material and follow through with me. Again, what I talk about is the National Incident Management System. And this is what the National Incident Management System means to Black people for the most part. You really need to peep this out. So again, I'm talking about the National Incident Management System, and it's an elaborate system. It has 5 main issues, 5 main missions categories that I'm gonna go through. I just want to point out the National Preparedness Goal. That talks about what National Incident Management is all about. And the bottom line is that it's about saving people, property, and preserving the American way of life. Now, I need you to understand, preserving the American way of life for black people, particularly the descendants of slaves, is really not the best thing going. And they are particularly the people involved with this. And I'm not saying all white people are bad. I'm just saying that a lot of people involved got some really treacherous ideologies. So again, the National Preparedness Goal really talks about preserving the American way of life, and there's a lot of changes going on. Black people asking for reparations. There are a lot of changes going on. You got the 1% of the rich, wealthy trying to take over the country in a different type of way. So, just for your information. Okay, so again, there's 5 mission statements. There's the mission of prevention. There's a mission of protection. There's a mission of mitigation. I mean, these are things that in a response mission. Okay, these are things that have an elaborate processes to them, and it's a system that if you don't understand it because you're not even concerned about the National Incident Management System because you just want to live your life, then you probably don't care what I'm talking about. But if you do care what I'm talking about, then you need to follow through with me again. Okay, so National Response Framework. Again, in the video, as I was doing the video, when I talk about it having some audio problems, I pointed out this aspect right here, and my audio went out. But again, what I want you to understand is that the United States of America is prepared under the continuity of government. If something happens, and something is going to happen, that the United States can be divided into 10 FEMA regions with regional government. The Constitution will be suspended. There will be 10 regional governments, and for the most part, black people are not ready. We're not organized to deal with that, and I want to try to do something about that. Again, Mr. Farrakhan said, don't let our people get caught up with Katrina, and what happened in Katrina, something happened. We didn't know who was who, what was what, and we didn't know how to organize. We just waited at the mercy of people to do things for us, and the thing is, right now, we don't have to be at their mercy. Again, regional government, and then there'll be regions within regions. I'm in Hamilton County, right? And I don't know who's going to control that region or these other regions here, right? So, I mean, and you probably have no clue what's going on in your world. So again, I hope that you'll follow through with my YouTube channel. You'll follow through with the information I'm trying to give you. Again, with this YouTube channel, I'm asking you to go subscribe to the channel, share this video so that other people can subscribe also, because I need people to see what's going on so I can get the oomph and the energy to push out more information that's going to help you to be prepared when this stuff goes down. Again, because as an emergency management practitioner, right, I look at threat assessments. I look at what's the possibility of something happening, and I say, what's the program? What's the plan to get away from that, to get over that situation? Okay, a prepper is someone who just wait for shit to hit the fan, and then they'll just try to go through it the best they can. Okay, so again, I talked about where we at here? Okay, and this right here, this is the last map I want to show you. I'm a ham radio operator, right? And this is a map based on Ohio and the ham radio operators in certain districts, okay? Now, again, I talk about this a little bit in the video that I talk about. Again, go to the website, watch that Soon Comes Death video. But again, I'm in region 4. Some nice white guys out there that I talk to on the radio, and some of them just like can't wait for shit to hit the fan so that they can come in and take people's stuff. So you really need to follow through with this information. Okay, so, and then the 5th mission statement is disaster recovery. I'm not going into these mission statements. I'm just showing you that this is what it is. So when I talk about disasters, as a FEMA instructor for a course called CERT, Community Emergency Response Teams, what I have to do is in the book, I had to teach that there are 3 types of disasters. There's natural disasters, earthquake, hurricane, tornadoes, type like that. There's technological disasters, which are your plant explosion, your chemical leak, train derailment, and then there's man-made or intentional disasters. And that's where you got, in the book, it'll say terrorism and war. But I try to really iterate to people that white supremacy right now is at a serious form of warfare going on right now. And you really need to be aware of that. And when it comes to war, like the United States government uses like 9 principles, and if you see them around this ring right here, they use the principle of offense, the principle of objective, the principle of maneuver, unity of command, maneuver, did I say maneuver? Economy of force, surprise, simplicity. Okay, my device cut out and I'm back. As I was saying about the United States uses the principles of war, 9 principles of war. They use the principle of objective, offensive, maneuver, unity of command, mass, economy of force, surprise, simplicity, and security. These are principles that they use. They just don't be out there. They use psychological operations to make you think one thing is another, and it's not really what you think it is. So again, if you don't understand that white supremacy is a type of war, then I guess you don't need to look at this video anymore. Okay, let me just go right here as I talk about. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trying to advance ahead here. Okay, I want you to take a quick look at this, right? Let's talk about real quickly about the reality of preparedness and what a disaster is. This is your state of preparedness, or a nation's state of preparedness before the disaster hits. And if you look at this, if you stop your screen and look at this, what you can see is that certain things happen between the short-term, mid-term, and long-term process. This is one disaster. Let's assume that this disaster was slavery for black people in America. So look at all the time that we've had to get over that, right? However, again, let me go over here one more. Again, this is called a disaster continuum, and certain things supposed to happen after the disaster that deals with your recovery from that disaster. Now look, suppose black people just didn't have slavery, but right after slavery we had Jim Crow, black codes, miseducation, this, that, the other. We had everything that continued to happen to us, civil rights, all these things happened to us, and we didn't really recover. And we still haven't recovered, not as a people. And at this point, look at this right here. This is the major disaster that I'm talking about potentially happening right now. The power grid going out, these people have been talking about putting us back in slavery and situations like that for quite a period of time. Again, I hope you can come on and do more videos. Again, like and subscribe so I can get the subscription and see the people are listening, and I can be motivated to do more material. I don't think I have anything else that I want to do. So at this point, I want to just go over the website. The YouTube channels, again, CEFEMAP News. Okay. Let me get over here. Scroll down. Come on, I don't want you over there. Matter of fact, one of the things I want you to do, the main purpose of today's video, it has actually been, I wanted you to check out the special advisory on vaccines. You really need to go to the YouTube channel and check out the playlist on the vaccines. Okay, once you click on there, these are the three videos that are on there. Dr. Wesley Muhammad does a really great job of explaining where this virus comes from and aspects of the virus and who's been doing what and tinkering with what. You really need to check it out before you take that vaccine. I really advise that. Okay, again, you can go to CEFEMAP Space News. That's our YouTube channel. And another site I want you to check out, I'm almost done here, this is our CERT site. Okay, you can go to CECERT.org, CECERT.org, and I'll flash it up there on the screen as I finish this video and put it up there. You can just click right here and see what is CERT. CERT is a program that you can have in your community to get your community disaster prepared. It's a very, very important program that can be used. It's extremely important. And also, you can see some of the stuff that we did. You can see when my CERT team started, and you can actually go down here on the CERT site, and you can see more about CERT on the government site. You can actually take a course that will give you some insight on how CERT's supposed to work. And actually, you can take part of the training and then just have some classroom training to do. I'm gonna do another video on that, but you just look at the information for right now. Right here, I'm gonna put a video talking about what you can expect from the municipality in your area. CERT tends to be run by the county, and a lot of these county folks will tell you they don't know what you're talking about. They don't want to help you. I ran into a whole bunch of like, nigga, we ain't trying to help you stuff when I started this. So again, you can check out what CERT is. And I think I'll do a video on that. Again, and then I got another site, which is FEMAP.news, FEMAP.news, FEMAP ceFEMAP.news. Okay, and again, major topic I want you to check out is vaccines. For right now, you can go check out this site. Again, you can learn more about the CERT program. Again, I think I said something about ham radios. If I didn't, you can look up, this will take you to the American Radio Relay League, and you can find out about getting a technician like to deal with ham radio. I said something about ham radios when I showed you the map, because when the grid goes down, you going to have problems. And speaking of that grid going down, if you can go back to ceFEMAP.news, right? I said something about the grid going down. Again, these two videos, one of them is Janet Napolitano, the former Secretary of Homeland Security, talked about the grid going down. It's imminent. Like Negroes don't know what imminent means. So check that out. This guy right here, this is some years ago, and this guy's in Congress questioning Oliver North. Remember the crack cocaine thing, all that was going on? Matter of fact, this video right here, I got an FBI agent talking about he was an FBI agent in Cincinnati when the crack cocaine push got brought here. It's a lot of stuff here. Again, this guy talking about, again, the suspension of the Constitution back then. And they told him, like, shh, we don't want the niggas to know. Okay, again, so again, you go to check out my sites. Again, ceFEMAP.news. You can just go over the sites and see what's going on. This is what I'm looking for, contributions from other people out there. If you deal with emergency management in your community, contact me. Let's do something. Get a space on here. Collaborate with me so we can get our people over this hump. I've said a lot, and I've gotten it done. Okay. Again, when you get those stimulus checks, you need to start holding on something to deal with some emergency supplies. Again, I'm gonna do something on an advice to what you can get for those stimulus checks. Certain things you need to put up. Now let me say this, and I'm through. People are going to FEMA camps. It ain't no way around it. We ain't did nothing of what we supposed to do as a community, and the system is moving in harder to make things happen. Minister Farrakhan told the Nation of Islam we shouldn't take that vaccine, and we're not. That is a major thing that's going on with them to push this vaccine. And if you look at, I'm almost through here. If you look at this video right here, this is Bill Gates talking in 2015 about this virus coming down the line. This right here is saying that they already was coming out with the CARES Act before you even heard of the virus, right? So things are coming down the line on us. And again, we're not taking that vaccine. And if they don't take the vaccine, the most logical thing for them to do is come around and they're going to try to pay you to take the vaccine. That's on you. But again, when Minister Farrakhan told us not to take the vaccine, it was based on the fact that until our virologists, our scientists approve something and say it's cool for us, we ain't taking it. So if you do, that's on you. But again, I want you to check out the material. And by not enough of us taking that vaccine, again, I think they're going to cut the grid off and do a whole different level of like, y'all going to do what we tell y'all to do. So again, please go to the YouTube channel, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and share so I can get this information out and we can do what we need to do. Other than that, brothers and sisters, we're going to really face some really terrible times. Thank you for listening. Thank my sister, Terry, one of my team members, for recording this with me. Peace.